Welcome back, everybody, or rather, I should say, welcome to online class. This is going to be our first activity that we're doing. This is a star battle. I felt that star battle was on theme with where we left off in class, studying space and exploration. And this does a good job of tying that all together, being a visual spatial puzzle. You'll notice we've got like a y-axis here and an x-axis here, and then there's this grid system in between, much like the grid system on our map. So again, this is called the star battle, and what we are going to be doing is we are going to try to put two stars, denoted by the 2 and star, in each column, row, and little bolded zone or area that you can find on the map. Okay? We've got to place 2 stars, no more, no less, okay, in order to complete this puzzle. The only other rule that's fairly simple is that no 2 stars can be next to each other. So if I place a star here, I can't place a star here, 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 or here. Stars must be separated completely all the way around by any other stars. There can't be 2 stars together. So we're going to erase here. I'm going to work through this one, and you can work through it together with me, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks along the way. To get started, whenever I'm starting a star battle, I always look for the smallest areas available, and I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 square zones that seem to be the smallest. The other ones are larger and therefore going to be a little bit harder to force a star into. For instance, if we start right here in the middle, I see this little T shape, and if I were to place a star here, well, then I couldn't place a star in any of these boxes because they'd be touching that star. And I need to have 2 stars in this shape, so that's going to be impossible. This tells me that, in fact, it is impossible for me to place a star here. So I'm just going to give it a little line to denote that no star goes there. The same thing applies for this square here. That would cancel out both of those, and there wouldn't be room for a second star. So the only places stars can go in this zone are here and here. If we move down to... Oh, sorry, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Because these 2 stars are here, this tells me, it gives me information and tells me that no stars can go in any of these squares either. So I am marking off the areas that stars cannot go. It helps my brain visualize this a little better. When I skip down to this next one, same thing applies. If I were to put a star here, then that would block off all the other areas for stars. So I know that no star can go here, nor here, leaving only 2 spaces left in this zone for stars to go, making it somewhat easy for me to block off other areas. This star forced this one to collapse, and because no 2 stars can be together in this last small bolded area, I know that no star can go here, making a star here and making a star here. And once again, I'm going to cross off all the boxes around the star that cannot be filled with a star. Oh, look at that. We've got our little 3 straight cubes here, or squares here, and forcing again my stars to split that space. All right, well, now all the easy ones are done, so what do I have left? Well, I actually have a little bit more information now, because remember, once again, only 2 stars can be in any column. So I know that there's 2 stars in this column, which means no more stars can go in that column. So I can cross off those other squares. And 2 stars are in this column, which crosses off all of those squares. 2 stars are in this row, which cross off this entire row. And now in this, what once was a large area, I'm left again with just these 3 blocks, meaning, well, no star can go there because then they'd be next to each other. Instead, I'm left with these 2 stars here. And with 2 stars there, I can cross off this as a possible star. Moving around, so now in this bottom row, I know that I need to have 2 stars, but I'm not sure if it's going here or here. Nothing is telling me. Well, perhaps actually I do have enough information because I've crossed off all these as possibilities, and there has to be a second star in that column. So I'm going to add it right there, which gets rid of this one. But if I scoot down to the end, I'm not sure if it's going to go in this column or this column. So I'm going to put a little star here to denote, hey, you know what, there could be a star in either one of these boxes. Next, if I go all the way up to the top, I've got this zone here, and there can only be one other star in this top row, so I know that a star must go here, and I need a second one in this zone, so a star must go here, right? Or else I'd have 3 stars in that top row. So I'm going to get rid of my areas around this, and you see the puzzle starting to collapse. I'm left with 3 here, and I know that there can only be 1 star there, but I'm not sure which one of these it's going to go in. So again, I'm going to give it a little mark to remind my brain, hey, this is where a star needs to go. Okay, well, what else can I figure out from this? Now that there's 2 stars in this one, it can get rid of this row for me. And I'm left with enough here that I don't exactly know where they are, but I do know something. I know that a star must go somewhere in these 4, and a star must go somewhere in these 3, right? So there's got to be a star in here, and there's got to be a star in here, because that is going to give us 2 stars in this area. But I'm not sure where in this, because if it were to go here, then it would just force a star there. But if there's a star here, then it would force it into one of those 2. I'm not sure which is which yet, but this is going to remind me that, hey, I need 1 star here in one of these 4 and 1 star in one of these 3. I need... No, we're good there. Oh, okay. Well, I've got 2 stars here, which is going to take out those 2 areas right there. Let's see if that helped us at all. Not yet. 1 here. I feel like I'm missing something fairly obvious. Oh, of course. In this row, there's only the 3 remaining squares, and I need 2 stars. Therefore, no star can go here, which puts a star here and a star here. Gets rid of these areas. Oh, hey, would you look at that? I needed a star in these 3, so that's going to force a star here, which is going to get rid of these 2 areas. And I know, hey, I'm going to need one here now. This also tells me because a star is going to fall on one of these 2 blocks, and there's already one here, that's going to get rid of this one, and it forces me into a star in one of these 2 boxes. Because now I have 2 stars in this, that's going to cancel that one out, forcing the star into this one. Do you see how it kind of domino effects and helps you solve the rest of the puzzle? This row now has 2 stars in it, which gets rid of this, forcing our second star in this row to go here, and second star in that column. All right, we are almost done. This column has 1 star, needs a second, and there's only one place for it to go. If you put it here, get rid of our space there. That gives us 2 stars in this zone. We need a second star in this column, forcing the star here. Get rid of this here. I've got 2 stars in this one, getting rid of that, and I simply need 1 final star here. believe that finishes the puzzle. So I've got 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And I'm good. I've got 2 in this area, 2 in that area, 2 in this zone, 2 in this zone, 2 in this zone, that, and that. We did it. Now, you are going to have to go solve your own